Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters in Indonesia. I am Shadi Al-Raghme from Holy Palestine. I work at the Cabinet Secretariat of Ministers of Council. It's my pleasure to share with you congratulations at the National Archive Day on 18th of May. And I also like to thank all Indonesian people and His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Tawfiq and the INB staff for their continuous supporting to Palestinian people. From Palestine, we love Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I'm Odile Velfelet, in charge of the international cooperation on the archive for the Archive of France. On behalf of the French archives, I'm pleased to be part of the National Archives Day in Indonesia. I greet Miss Desi Pratiwi and every Indonesian archivist. The lockdown has been an intense period of training at home on all things digital. French archives have used and developed digital tools to carry on the work in a different way. We set up web conferences and workshops to share best teleworking practices and tips. Online training courses on records management and digital data management have been reopened on the French Digital University MOOC platform. Professional coaching sessions were organized on digital archiving standards. Throughout the country, archival institutions mobilized their teams, even non-archivists, to do collaborative indexing of digitized texts or images. Together, but each in his or her own home, they succeeded to bring access to archival resources through our digital catalogues. They also created recreational activities online for children and adults. This time has been difficult and challenging. Archives have demonstrated they are resilient, efficient, and present for everyone. I wish you an excellent Archives Day. Goodbye.
Greetings to the archivists of Indonesia. I hope this finds you all healthy and well, in spite of the pandemic threat we're facing worldwide. I'm Meg Phillips, the External Affairs Liaison for the National Archives and Records Administration in the United States. I have the pleasure of working with archivists all over the world through the International Council on Archives, and I'm delighted to be able to send congratulations on the occasion of your National Archives Day on behalf of myself and my colleagues at the U.S. National Archives. At the moment, our National Archives staff are working from home, with the exception of just a few people who are going into the buildings to check the safety of the collections and to do a few essential functions, like retrieving records for Congress and emergency requests for the records of veterans so they can get benefits. The staff working from home are trying new things, offering virtual training on teaching with archives records for all the teachers and parents whose children are now learning at home. We're supporting crowdsourcing projects, we're recording metadata, and we're helping researchers with questions that can be answered with records online or other information. Access to records remains important in emergencies, and we're all doing our best to ensure that the truly essential work of archives continues. At the same time, we're also emphasizing to our government the importance of creating good documentation of government action during the pandemic response, for the use of our future governments and also for researchers. In addition, this period has been a clear argument for the essential nature of our electronic records work. When we're working remotely, only the electronic records are fully available all the time. In this unusual period, we realize that records and archives matter even more during times of stress everywhere in the world. For this reason, we join with you in celebrating the essential value of archives for Indonesia. I wish you all good health and best wishes for Indonesia's National Archives Day from your friends in the United States.
Hello, bonjour. I am Normand Charbonneau. I am from Canada. I am a French Canadian. I am the Deputy Librarian and Archivist of Canada, and I am also the Vice President for the International Council on Archives. I am an archivist. I have always been an archivist. I will always be an archivist, and I'm very proud of it. I am home. I've been teleworking here for the last 2 months because of the crisis. I'm going back to my usual workplace on Monday, and I'm very happy about it because I miss my colleagues, I miss my people. The health crisis we are living clearly illustrates the complexity and importance of the work we do. In the context where administrations and companies have been forced to change the behavior of billions of individuals in both their private and professional lives. It is essential to record, manage, and make accessible the information and knowledge that allows for choices to be based on fact. Whatever role we play in the fields of records management or archives, we seek to ensure that these decisions concerning our societies are documented so that they can be studied, criticized, and that decision makers can be made accountable. In a country like yours, the fourth largest population in the world, thousands of islands, a federation with its complexity, I live in a federation and I understand complexity of federated states, a population united by its diversity. Your role is key. Be proud of the work you do and have a great and safe Archives Day. And see you soon. À bientôt.
Dear Ali colleague, I am Sanchai Chadrasedani, Secretary General of Southeast Asia Pacific Audiovisual Archive Association, or SIPAWA for short. My day job is Deputy Director of Thai Film Archive. On behalf of SIPAWA, I am delighted to know that you are celebrating the Indonesian National Archive Day on 18 May. This is an occasion to raise public awareness on the importance of the archive and profession. On this note, SIPAWA may wish you a very meaningful and happy National Archive Day. Thank you.
Poštovani prijatelji, koristim priliku da vam čestitam 18. maj, Dan Nacionalnog arhiva Indonezije. Saradnja arhiva Jugoslavije i arhiva Indonezije ima dugu saradnju počevši od 2013. kada je rađena zajednička izložba posvećena godišnjici diplomatskih odnosa 2013. godine. Bogatstvo naših arhiva, naročito arhiva Jugoslavije, resurs na kome ćemo dalje raditi u zajedničkoj saradnji i obostranoj koristi. Hvala vam.
안녕하세요. 대한민국 국가기록원 원장 이소연입니다. 존경하는 케팔라 안리 인도네시아 국가기록원장님과 직원 여러분들께 인도네시아의 기록의 날을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 인도네시아 국가기록원과 대한민국의 국가기록원은 2015년에 MOU를 맺어온 이후로 건강한 협력관계를 유지해 왔습니다. 앞으로도 더욱 긴밀하게 생산적인 관계를 만들 수 있도록 저도 최선을 다하겠습니다. 다시 한번 기록의 날을 축하드립니다. 고맙습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I hope you and your family are healthy and safe during these uncertain and unprecedented times because of the COVID-19 pandemic. On behalf of the State Record and Archive Department of Vietnam, I would like to congratulate the National Archive of Indonesia on the occasion of Indonesian National Archive Day. I wish the National Archive of Indonesia more and more developed and had a lot of contribution to our archival community in the future. As far as you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has currently affected and caused great damage on the global in general and each country in particular. In this context, along with the government policy on social distancing, each archive institution should propagandize and raise staff awareness of epidemic prevention and control. Meanwhile, implementing our archive professional activities. With the message of archive is conserving the past for the future and promoting value of record for social life, we do believe we all will overcome soon all difficulties caused by the epidemic and continue cooperating closely as make great contributions to the archive career of mankind. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam Arsip intipati kepada masa. Saya dengan rasa besar hati ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Arsip Nasional kepada para arkivis yang bertugas di Arsip Nasional Republik Indonesia sempena sambutan Hari Arsip tahun 2020. Jadi sekali lagi saya mengucapkan tahniah kepada Arsip Nasional Republik Indonesia sempena sambutan Hari Arsip mereka pada tahun ini, dan saya harapkan perjuangan ini dapat diteruskan untuk memastikan bahan-bahan kearsipan kenegaraan dipelihara untuk jangka masa yang akan datang. Satu bangsa, satu keluarga, hidup serumpun dalam harmoni. Semoga program sukses hendaknya pasti terpahat di dalam memori.
Dear colleagues of the Arsip, my name is Marens Engelhardt. I'm National Archivist of the Netherlands. Dear Pak Taufik dan orang-orang lain di Arsip Nasional. Selamat Hari Kearsipan Nasional. A happy birthday with the 49th anniversary of the important archival law of Indonesia. I hope next year, at the 50th anniversary, you can celebrate it in the usual way in the kebun di Gedung Arsip Nasional di Jalan Gajah Mada. I'm very happy and proud with the professional ties between your archive in Jakarta and the National Archives in The Hague. So I hope we will see each other in good health after this pandemic is over. So be careful, and then we will meet again soon. Happy birthday. Bye-bye.
To the Director of the National Archives of Indonesia, Dr. Muhammad Taufik, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honour for me, in my capacity as President of the International Council on Archives, to send you my warmest regards and my best wishes on the occasion of National Archives Day in Indonesia. And I'm sure that as you gather this year, just as it is in every other part of the world, there will be much discussion about the COVID-19 pandemic. Right around the world, we're grieving the terrible losses suffered by so many, and we are encouraging the hard work now being undertaken to defend humanity against the virus. But this work also extends to our own community. We in the archives also have profound obligations to do what we can to help our nations and our communities, and do what we can to speed the journey to recovery. Firstly, as memory institutions, we have to ensure that humanity's records and knowledge of previous pandemics are discoverable and available to those people charged with solving the problems of COVID-19. Because let's not forget that the coronavirus is unprecedented for today's generation. However, our institutions hold archives that stretch back many centuries, including, for example, the terrible pandemic of 1918, and further back still to the plague of the 14th century. And within those documents resides the accumulated knowledge of mankind that will help us survive the current crisis. Our political leaders, government officials, our medical researchers, our schools, fathers, mothers and children are all looking for answers to make sense of the present situation and to find a way through to the other side. So let's ensure our collections are open and available to them. And of course, we in the archive sector do not just work in the past. In fact, always, our most important duty is to plan for the future. Archives ensure that the collective memory of humanity is carried forward in time, from this generation to the next. So we also have a present duty to ensure that the lessons being learnt around the world right now will be preserved and will be available for the future, so that when the next pandemic arises, we will all be even more prepared to deal with it. Now, in the last few weeks, ICA has worked closely with IFLA, with UNESCO and other like-minded organisations to produce two important statements, highlighting the role of documentary heritage in responding to the pandemic and the importance of documenting the actions and decisions now being taken, preserving them as a knowledge resource for the future. These two statements are available through the websites of ICA and UNESCO, and they're entitled, firstly, Turning the Threat of COVID-19 into an Opportunity for Greater Support to Documentary Heritage. And the second statement is entitled, COVID-19, the duty to document does not cease in a crisis, it becomes more essential. Important decisions are being made by governments around the world, involving huge interventions in markets, in healthcare, and into the daily lives of billions of people, as those governments seek to secure the social, economic, and cultural well-being of their populations and uphold the rule of law. It is therefore essential that the basis of those decisions, the decisions themselves, and the senior decision makers involved are thoroughly documented in order for governments to remain accountable both during and after the emergency, and for future generations to be able to learn from our actions. The existence of proper documentation practices will enable not only business continuity, research and innovation, but also will ensure the evidence of how this crisis was managed to be available for future generations. As I say, archives are already the custodians of the 1918 influenza pandemic records, which are now being studied by scientists around the world. And archives will eventually be the stewards for records related to the present COVID-19 pandemic. So I think on this particular National Archives Day, we have a very important reason to come together and discuss how we can learn from each other, to improve our professional knowledge, but most importantly, to dedicate ourselves to delivering even better services to the government and to the public. This is the time for all you Arsiparis to stand up and to do your part. So once again, I thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in this wonderful event today, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.